starting with 1 million luck points. Chapter 41. Chapter 41, Sudden Change. What's going on? An earthquake. Many students looked at the training ground. In confusion. Roar. The tiles on the training grounds were suddenly sent flying, and a large number of rocks shattered. An incomparably terrifying aura pressure swept out like a storm with a loud roar. It's the iron armor worm. An outstanding student from the materials class immediately recognized the creature that had rushed out. Iron armor worm, what kind of a beast is that? The student who recognized the creature suddenly turned completely pale. It's a high general level insect beast. The student's voice was not loud, but it made the entire training grounds silent. On the high platform, the faces of the school leaders and the parents of the students turned pale the moment they saw the iron armor worm. Shenjing's body trembled. Boom. Boom. After the iron armor worm appeared, the violent shaking of the training grounds did not end. The ground in front and behind of the iron armor worm ruptured. Two demon beasts more than 100 meters tall soared into the sky. Their terrifying and monstrous auras overwhelmed everyone like black clouds. Roar! Roar! A shocking loud roar tore through the sky and spread out like a thunderclap. Most of the students' faces had lost all color and their minds were blank. On the high platform, the school leaders and the parents of the students were also in a terrible state. Some of them even fell to the ground, their urine flowing everywhere. Shenjing stared fixedly at the two giant beasts that just appeared. Three-eyed demon tiger. Black-scale demon python. His expression was extremely ugly. In addition to the iron armor worm, there are actually two more general-level demon beasts that appeared in Chu City High School. If it was just the iron armor worm, he could still barely deal with it. After all, the iron armor worm's attack power was not high and was only good at burrowing. However, with the appearance of the three-eyed demon tiger and the black-scale demon python, he was simply no match for them. These foreign races sure are persistent in their goal to eradicate humanity. Shenjing clenched his fists tightly, his eyes filled with anger. How could he not know that the three high general-level demon beasts that had appeared were after the peerless genius suspected to be hiding in Chu City High School? Who? He took a deep breath and said with a gloomy expression, "Immediately protect the students and evacuate them. I will use my life to delay the beasts until the other grandmasters arrive." When the army camp martial artists heard the order, they could not help but shout, "Instructor, we will also stay behind. Obey my orders." After speaking, Shenjing's eyes were filled with determination as he suddenly stepped onto the high platform. Boom! He rushed up. Click! Black armor instantly covered his entire body. With a wave of his hand, a saber suffused with a luster appeared out of thin air. Foreign trash, die! With a low roar, the aura on his entire body exploded with a bang, and the powerful pressure of a high-level grandmaster swept out. Swoosh! Swoosh! The three-eyed demon tiger and the black-scale demon python immediately turned around. Boom! The black-scale demon python's huge tail swept over at lightning speed. Shenjing forcefully turned around in midair and dodged this attack. However, before he could get close to his opponent, a paw slapped down. It was the three-eyed demon tiger. Bang! Shenjing, who was unable to dodge again, was directly swatted away like a fly and smashed fiercely onto the training ground. Shenjing spat out blood from the corner of his mouth and shouted angrily at the two army martial artist teams, "What the hell are you all waiting for? Hurry up and evacuate them." Bang! 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 However, at this moment, hundreds of beast warriors surged out from the tunnel entrance that the iron armor worm, the three-eyed demon tiger, and the black-scale demon python had created. Upon seeing this, Shenjing felt despair. It's over. Chu City High School is completely finished. I don't want to die. Dad, quick, save me. Teacher, save us. A large number of beast warriors rushed out and attacked the students in the spectator stands. The participating students were also being targeted. In an instant, blood splattered everywhere. The casualties began. Protect the students. Kill the beasts. The two army martial artist teams were the first to charge forward. The other school leaders also regained their senses. Let's go all out. We can't let the students die. I'll drag a demon beast down with me even if I have to die. Kill. The school leaders and teachers were all furious as they rushed up. But there were also people who retreated. Several parents ran away in fear. Shenjing smiled bitterly. Do you really think you guys can escape? He knew very well that just 2 high-level demon generals was enough to destroy the entire Chu City High School. No one could escape this time. Kill all the foreign race bastards. Suddenly, a cold voice sounded. Chapter 42, Powerful Expert. Everyone turned around and saw Su Ling charging forward bravely to help the army martial artist. Team kill the beast warriors. The other students in standard armor hesitated for a moment before following closely behind. Haha, the purpose of cultivation is to kill those foreign races anyway. Count me in. Me too. Remember me, my name is Zhang He. One by one, the standard armored students seemed to have been provoked as they charged forward in large numbers. Seeing this scene, Shenjing's eyes were filled with tears. Good job, everyone. Enduring the pain coming from his broken ribs, he struggled to stand up and charged at the demon general again. He knew that as long as he could still stand, the 2 demon generals would pay attention to him. Bang! The 3-eyed demon tiger swatted him away again. After doing this for 4 consecutive times, all the bones in Shenjing's body were close to breaking, and his blood was flowing everywhere. He panted and said to himself, "Stand up, I have to stand up." However, even after using his full strength, he was still unable to stand up. Boom! The 3-eyed demon tiger suddenly stomped on the ground, and its 100-meter-tall body looked down at Shenjing. What a hindrance! Die! The huge claw slammed down. Am I going to die? Shenjing sighed. He somewhat regretted holding this combat assessment. It was fine for him to die, but he had implicated a large number of students. Right at this moment, a figure stood in front of him and sighed. Hi, leave it to me. Shenjing's eyes widened. You. His body was in intense pain, and his eyes were covered by blood. He could only vaguely see the figure, but he knew that this person was the peerless genius hidden in the school. No, don't fight him head on. Before he could finish speaking, Zhou Hao had already met the 3-eyed demon tiger's huge claw as it swatted down. Swoosh! 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 As Zhou Hao soared out, his figure flashed 3 times in the air like a ghost. Rip! On the 4th flash, a sharp blade light suddenly flickered and directly cut off the 3-eyed demon tiger's huge claw. Bang! The thick half of a claw smashed heavily onto the ground. Roar! The 3-eyed demon tiger roared in pain. Zhou Hao did not even look at the 3-eyed demon tiger. His figure flashed again. However, this time, he was heading towards the martial artist team and the participating students who were fighting a large number of beast warriors. Pu! 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 He was like a wolf entering a flock of sheep as he charged towards the beast warriors. Every time a saber beam appeared, the corpse of a high-level beast warrior would fall. In a few seconds, more than 10 high-level beast warriors died under Zhou Hao's saber, greatly relieving the pressure on the martial artist team and the students and teachers. Roar! Roar! By now, the black-scale demon python had already reacted. It roared as it opened its bloody mouth and swooped down. Seeing this, Zhou Hao stomped his foot and the ground exploded. His body was like a cannonball as he flew out crazily. Then, he flashed continuously in midair, vividly displaying the might of the Shadow 7 sabers. Puchi. Puchi. In less than 3 to 4 seconds, several deep cuts appeared on the black scale demon python's scaly body. The black scale demon python roared in pain as it crazily chased after Zhou Hao. The three-eyed demon tiger also quickly joined in. The iron armor worm, however, shriveled its body. At this moment, not only was Shenjing dazed, but the martial artists, teachers, school leaders, and students who were fighting the beast warriors were also dumbfounded. After all, that was a high-level demon general. It was a powerful existence that only a grandmaster could kill. In the end, a participating student in standard armor actually managed to handle the two high-level demon generals and suppress them to the point where they could not even lift their heads. It was too unbelievable. It's him, he's that peerless genius hiding in the school. Ha ha ha, I knew it. I knew he would make a move. Principal Zheng laughed crazily. The dean was the same. He was so excited that he was speechless. At this moment, no one dared to mock them because everyone could tell that the person who was attacking was the peerless genius. Pu. 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 As Zhou Hao toyed with the two demon generals, he even leisurely flashed in front of Su Ling and the other students to help them get rid of the beast warriors. He did not even forget to shout at the students, "All the best." The strange scene continued to unfold on the training grounds. A large number of beast warriors surged out and roared as they attacked, but they were unable to approach the defensive line formed by the martial artist team and the students. Countless students recovered from their despair after seeing the student in standard armor handle the attacks of high-level demon generals effortlessly while also cleaning up the beast warriors. All of them were in an uproar. Such a peerless genius with peerless combat strength was actually from their Chu City High School. Too powerful. How could there be such a powerful expert in our school? Senior, you can do it. Senior, kill those foreign races. Chapter 43, Massacre. Countless students shouted crazily, their eyes revealing worship and gratitude. Seeing that there was no danger, Su Zhenhua and some leaders rushed to the training ground and helped Shenjing up. Cough cough. Shenjing took off his armor and mask, his face covered in blood. Quick, get some water and a towel. The bureau leader shouted. With Zhou Hao in front, it was indeed much easier for them. They even had the time to deal with other matters. Shenjing waved his hand and endured the pain. I'm fine. Quick, evacuate the students first. Move them away to prevent any accidents. Only then did the bureau leaders react. They immediately sent the teachers to organize the students to quickly leave the training grounds. Many students were unwilling to leave. They wanted to see the peerless genius kill the high-level demon generals with their own eyes, but under the intense pressure of the teachers and martial artists, they still left obediently. Almost all of the beast warriors that surged out from the tunnel had been killed by Zhou Hao alone. Therefore, the remaining participating students also moved away one after another. Department Director Hong held Shenjing and blamed himself. I didn't expect such an accident to happen. Shenjing shook his head. It's not your fault. The insect race must have worked extremely hard to infiltrate the school by avoiding the defense line of the base. As he spoke, he looked at Zhou Hao, who was still fighting the two demon generals, and said in a low voice, "He's that genius, he's definitely that peerless genius. I was right to come this time. Judging from his aura, he seems to be still in the martial artist stage, but his combat strength is extremely strong. Furthermore, I've never seen such a saber technique. It has the shadow of the shadow saber stance, but it's definitely much stronger." Department Director Hong could not help but be shocked. "Instructor, you're saying that he suppressed the two high-level demon generals with his saber?" "Right." Shenjing nodded heavily and exclaimed, "His saber technique seems to be of a high level, and his movement technique is also unpredictable." Although the two high-level demon generals are fierce and powerful, they can't even catch up to him. Indeed, his movement technique is shocking. Department Director Hong agreed. Although he could not tell what was going on with the saber, he still knew how impressive the mysterious movement technique was. After all, it had been 3 to 4 minutes since this peerless genius had attacked, but the two high-level demon generals had yet to injure him in the slightest. Bang! 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 The battle continued as more and more saber injuries appeared on the three-eyed demon tiger and the black-scale demon python. They constantly let out shocking roars of pain and chased after Zhou Hao crazily, smashing the surrounding buildings around the training grounds into pieces. Zhou Hao's heart ached when he saw this. After all, the school had worked hard to build those buildings. Damn it! If not for the fact that I don't want to be exposed, I would have killed you guys long ago. However, you guys won't be able to last much longer either. The saber in his hand was too low level, and he had only been able to break through the two demon generals' defense because he had used a little of his own strength. Zhou Hao did not dare to use too much strength. This was because the saber could not withstand his full strength. He could only limit his strength and take it slow. As time passed, the two high-level demon generals became slower and slower. Since they were intelligent beings, they gradually regained their senses and calmed down from the intense pain. Therefore, after missing their last attack, they immediately changed directions and rushed towards the tunnels on the training ground. Seeing this, Zhou Hao sneered. You want to escape? If these two beasts had tried to escape from the beginning, he really wouldn't have been able to do anything because he wouldn't want his identity to be exposed. But things were different now. Pucci. After giving chase, Zhou Hao raised his saber and slashed at the black-scale demon python's head with a flash. The black-scale demon python, which was slow to react, was slashed in the scarred neck area and was cut into two. Its huge body smashed heavily into the training ground. The three-eyed demon tiger not far away was so frightened that its soul flew out as it rushed crazily towards the tunnel. After killing the black-scale demon python, Zhou Hao chased after the three-eyed demon tiger. Seeing the three-eyed demon tiger jump into the tunnel, he followed without hesitation. Be careful! Shen Jing's shout sounded from the training grounds, but Zhou Hao didn't care at all. He chased after the three-eyed demon tiger along the tunnel and directly slashed with his saber when he saw its butt. Roar! The three-eyed demon tiger roared in pain. Zhou Hao did not show any mercy. He continued to slash with his saber and the three-eyed demon tiger fell in the end. After killing the three-eyed demon tiger, his ears twitched. He sensed the iron armor worm that was the first to escape. The latter was not slow and was drilling crazily. Without hesitation, he gave chase at full speed. 2 to 3 minutes later, he found the swollen body of the iron armor worm. As if sensing Zhou Hao's aura, the escaping iron armor worm started to speed up. Unfortunately, it was only a high general level insect beast. Even if it burrowed into the ground, it would still be unable to outrun Zhou Hao, who had peak level combat strength. Soon, the iron armor worm died miserably under Zhou Hao's saber. At this point, the three high-level general level foreign beasts that had attacked Chu City High School had all been killed by Zhou Hao. Standing beside the corpse of the iron armor worm, Zhou Hao opened the virtual screen and scanned the luck points. Luck points, 67,200, current level, overwhelming luck. Not bad. In total, all the foreign beasts had contributed nearly 70,000 luck points. Furthermore, Zhou Hao also got the chance to test out the strength of his Shadow 7 sabers. The saber secret technique improved by the silver mystery box was indeed very powerful. The effects were even stronger than he had imagined. It had to be known that Zhou Hao had suppressed his strength the entire time and only relied on his saber to kill two high-level demon generals and a general-level insect beast. Suddenly, he sensed movement in the tunnel. It was the aura of a human grandmaster. Chapter 44, Look for yourselves. Zhou Hao hurriedly flashed out of the ground and left quickly. A moment later, a figure jumped out from the tunnel of the training grounds. It was Grand Master Zhen Hong from the Underground Alliance Mall. "Lord Zhen, how was it? Was that student injured?" Shen Jing hurriedly asked. Grand Master Zhen Hong shook his head and threw the iron armor worm and the three-eyed demon tiger's corpses onto the training ground. "After I arrived, I only saw the corpses and didn't see the figure of that student." As he spoke, he seemed to be in disbelief. He pointed at the three huge foreign race corpses on the training grounds. "Old Shen, are you sure it was done by a student of Chu City High School?" Boom. 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 Several streams of light appeared in the sky and quickly landed on the training ground. The leader of the group that landed was the war prodigy of Huadong City, Commander Zhao. After receiving the distress signal from Chu City High School, he rushed over at full speed without caring about anything. However, the entire city was very large and he was far away, so it took him 5 to 6 minutes to arrive. "Old Shen, how are the casualties of the school?" After landing, he saw Zhen Hong and the three corpses on the training ground. His anxious expression finally relaxed. The other Grand Masters who had followed also heaved a sigh of relief. The appearance of three high-level foreign races in the city made them worried. After all, high-level demon generals and insect beasts were too destructive. If no one stopped them, they could quickly destroy the entire Chu city. Instructor Shen was a high-level Grand Master and his recovery speed was very fast. He was already much better now. He sighed and said, "The students have just been transferred and there weren't many casualties. It was all thanks to a student from the school who killed three high-level foreign races and cleaned up the large number of beast warriors. Otherwise..." Commander Zhao finally relaxed. "It's fine as long as there aren't too many casualties. We have to make proper arrangements for the aftermath of the disaster." Wait. As he spoke, he felt that something was wrong. A pair of bright eyes stared at Shen Jing. "Did you just say that a student from the school killed three general-level foreign beasts?" The other Grand Masters also looked over, their faces revealing doubts. They wondered if Shen Jing was trying to praise the student by exaggerating. However, even if Shen Jing wanted to support a student, he still couldn't have said something so ridiculous. Even the Grand Masters that just arrived would need to break a sweat just to kill all three high-level foreign beasts. Shen Jing smiled bitterly and said, "Commander Zhao, I know you don't believe me, but can you ask Lord Zhen? He will tell you who killed these foreign beasts." Swoosh. Commander Zhao, President He, and the other Grand Masters turned to look at Zhen Hong. Zhen Hong was speechless. These foreign races were indeed not killed by me. When I rushed over, the battle had already ended. As he spoke, he shook his head. But I don't believe it either. These foreign beasts couldn't have been killed by a student. It's too ridiculous. Commander Zhao looked at Shen Jing and said in a deep voice, "Old Shen, could it be because you have lived in Yanjing City for so many years? Could it be that your personality has been infected by the impetuousness there? How dare you make up such a big story so casually?" There was a stern reprimand in his voice. Among the many high schools in the entire Huadong City, the most outstanding one was Eastern District High School, but even the most outstanding students there had only reached the level of a martial artist. Chu City High School had always been ranked at the bottom. Even the rumored peerless genius from a while ago was only suspected to be a high-level martial artist. With the strength of a high-level martial artist, it was still reasonable for the expert to kill some high-level beast warriors. However, killing three high-level foreign beasts was a completely different story. "Old Shen, this is why I told you not to go to Yanjing City. Yeah, that place is too impetuous. Just stay in Huadong City in the future." The other Grand Masters also spoke up. Department Director Hong, who was standing beside Shen Jing, could not help but shout, "The instructor is not lying. Yo, isn't this Hong-san?" Hong San, you were the most upright back then and couldn't stand others lying. Since when have you become so sly? The few Grand Masters sneered. Shenjing shouted, enough. Commander Zhao frowned. Old Shen, stop hiding the truth. Tell me the truth. Shenjing said helplessly, Commander, I have a recording device on my armor. Look at it yourselves. As he spoke, he opened the recording device. Commander Zhao and the other Grand Masters stared at the recording device. The image slowly appeared. In the beginning, it showed a beautiful woman. He Biao and the other Grand Masters couldn't help but laugh. They wanted to tease Shenjing, but Commander Zhao glared at them instead. Shenjing's face turned slightly red. The reason why he did not show them the recording from the start was because there was something personal in there. As the images continued to appear, it finally showed the recording that captured the appearance of the three high-level foreign beasts. Commander Zhao and the others' expressions changed as they looked at the ferocious three-eyed demon tiger and the black-scale demon python. They could imagine how much courage it would take for Shenjing, a mere high-level grandmaster, to charge forward fearlessly. After that, they saw how Shenjing was blasted flying repeatedly, causing his blood to spray out. In the recording, he muttered as he tried to stand up, but he quickly fell back down. He Biao and the other Grand Masters revealed looks of admiration. However, at this moment, the recording device seemed to have been partially damaged. The scene began to turn blurry and the voices were intermittent. However, Commander Zhao and the others saw a student in standard armor stand up. However, because he was too fast, no one could see his face clearly. How is this possible? Could he really be just a student? The Grand Master's eyes revealed shock and disbelief. Shut up and continue watching. Commander Zhao berated as waves surged in his heart. After that, they all saw how it was the standard armored student who used his superb saber techniques and movement techniques to resist the three-eyed demon tiger and the black-scale demon python. They also saw how the student did all this while clearing away a large number of beast warriors until running off to a tunnel. After everyone finished watching it, not only was Commander Zhao silent, but the other Grand Masters were also silent. Shenjing did not say a word. Even though this was his second time watching it, he was still shocked. Chapter 45, Coward. After a long while, Chief Zhao sighed with emotion. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I really wouldn't believe that there was such a genius in this world. He Biao nodded heavily and chimed in, that's right. That saber technique is simply shocking. His movement technique is also unpredictable. Zhenhong smiled bitterly. I'm good at using sabers and have also created my own saber secret techniques. I was originally quite proud, but compared to the student, I feel that my saber techniques are too uncoordinated and too trashy. The other Grand Masters nodded in agreement. Old Shen, I was wrong about you. Commander Zhao patted Shenjing's shoulder. Shenjing shook his head. Commander Zhao, it's not your fault. Even I wouldn't have believed it. Commander Zhao's eyes revealed excitement. The heavens have given a chance for us humans. For such a peerless genius to appear, as long as we nurture him well, he will definitely overpower the foreign races when he grows up. That's right. We have to nurture him well. The other Grand Masters chimed in. Shenjing sighed. Chief Zhao, the sudden attack on Chu City High School this time is probably because the foreign races obtained information regarding the genius. That was why they were willing to pay a price to infiltrate. Commander Zhao was stunned for a moment before his expression darkened. He said angrily, I was wondering why the insect race suddenly attacked the southern station of the city last night. It was very suspicious. I understand now. Their true goal was to cover for the demon race and infiltrate the base. He Biao could not help but say, Commander Zhao, the only insects in the insect race that can conceal their detection are the shadow insects. To prevent them from infiltrating the defensive line again, we have to take action. Moreover, Since the insect race has failed this time, they will definitely realize the potential of that peerless genius. I'm afraid that the next attack will be even more terrifying. Shen Jing's heart tightened as he hurriedly looked at Commander Zhao. Don't worry, I won't let anything like this happen again. Commander Zhao gritted his teeth. Old Shen, I'll leave the nurturing of the genius to you. Also, Zhenhong, you'll be holding down the fort in Chu City for the time being. If anything happens, you can immediately provide support. Zhenhong nodded. He knew very well the seriousness of the matter. If not for that peerless genius, the entire Chu City would probably have been turned into ruins. On the ground floor of the school's hall, the lights shone on the dense crowd of students. However, other than the Year 1 students who were afraid, the Year 3 students were all excited. How powerful! He suppressed the high-level demon generals and the insect beast the entire time. I've decided. This peerless genius will be my idol from now on. The commotion outside seems to have stopped. Has the battle ended? Many students discussed in low voices. Even if the teachers berated them, they still couldn't suppress the excitement in their hearts. They could not wait to share what had happened at the training grounds with other people. After all, every student here felt deep pride for being able to witness the rise of such a shocking peerless genius. In the auditorium, participating students in standard armor were leaning against the window. They did not open their masks until the roars of the training grounds disappeared. Not long after, the school leaders ran over. Students, the battle has ended. The foreign races have all been killed. The Grand Masters of the city have also rushed over. There's nothing to be afraid of now. The dean shouted excitedly. TCH, we're not afraid. That's right. I even killed a beast warrior with my own hands. What's there to be afraid of? We still have that Year 3 genius. Even if a few more high-level demon generals came, they still wouldn't be a match for us. That's right. Those foreign beasts should be considered lucky to have suffered so few casualties. They all flattered the genius and sounded as if they had been the ones that killed the high-level demon generals. Su Ling kept looking around. Seeing that Zhou Hao was not around, she asked anxiously, Zhang Yi, did you see Zhou Hao? Zhang Yi was also looking for Zhou Hao. No, it was too chaotic just now. Su Ling was stunned. She couldn't help but wonder if Zhou Hao was that peerless genius. However, she quickly shook her head and dismissed it. Zhou Hao had just broken through to the first level of blood essence, so how could he be that peerless genius? However, Su Ling was still worried when she didn't see Zhou Hao. She couldn't help but shout, Zhou Hao, Zhou Hao. I'm over here. A gust of wind blew past the window and Zhou Hao quickly appeared in the crowd of students. When Su Ling saw Zhou Hao, she was furious. Where the hell were you? Of course, Zhou Hao wouldn't say that he had gone to kill high-level demon generals. He laughed dryly and said, I was too afraid. I went to the toilet behind the auditorium and hid for a while. I just entered from the back door. As soon as he said this, many students around laughed. Coward! What a waste of your standard armor. He actually hid in the washroom. What a weirdo! Laughter rose and fell. Su Ling's appearance and figure were all top-notch. Previously, when facing high-level beast warriors, she was the first to stand up, making countless students feel admiration. Therefore, many people couldn't help but feel jealous when they saw Su Ling being so anxious about Zhou Hao. Zhang Yi was indignant. Stop laughing at Zhou Hao. You guys were just as scared. When Su Ling stepped forward, only a third of you guys responded. Humph, if not for the peerless genius behind her stepping forward to stop the crisis, the rest of you would definitely have escaped faster than a rabbit. Most of the students who were sneering at Zhou Hao fell silent. They did not dare to refute. After all, they couldn't say anything after seeing that Zhang Yi's armor was covered in blood. Su Ling glared at Zhou Hao. In front of so many students, she chose not to say anything mean.